Hello and welcome. Today we're gonna take a quick look on what has happened to the Protection Warrior. This is on the Battle for Azeroth Beta, and I'm just gonna do a quick run through on the talents and what has happened with their spells in the spell book. So I'm gonna talk a bit on how they work and how they feel and my thoughts on them, so you have a general idea on what's going on for the Protection Warrior. So to start with, we're just going to check in the spellbook and notice a few things. First of all, Avatar is now baseline, 20% damage, 20 seconds, removes roots and snares and generates 20 rage. Awesome. You got Battle Shout back, but it's just a buff for the party since they're going a bit on the class fantasy. We got Intimidating Shout now, 1.5 minute cooldown, fears everything for 8 seconds. Nothing new there. Rallying Cry is back for tanks as well, and it's on a 15% maximum health over 10 seconds. Demo Shout is now on a 45 second cooldown instead of 1.5 as it is on live, which is very good. Reduces damage taken for 20%, but no longer gives you any extra additional rage gain as it is from the artifact weapon. Then let's look a bit more. Shield Block has a longer cooldown. It's currently on 15.5, but around 16 sec recharge per charge. Goes down with haste, scales with haste. Deep Wounds from your Devastate and Revenge. Shockwave is now baseline as well on a 30 second cooldown, and you can reduce it further with a talent that I will go through later. And yeah, that's about it for the overall spell changes. Thank you for what now. Then we got the talents where the fun stuff begins. So this is what I'm currently running. Current setup that feels really well, but I'm gonna go through them piece by piece. First we have Into the Fray, the must have, the bee's knees, the oh my god it's actually too good, and I'm wondering what the hell Blizzard was thinking. At least that's what it feels like. So 3% haste for each enemy or ally within 10 yards, up to 15% haste. So since it procs or works with both your enemies and your allies, you basically, unless you're 1 versus 1 mob while questing, you will always have the maximum value from it. So it's just 15% haste, which is just so much. So it's really good. Other than that, we have Punish, which is single target oriented. Shield Slam deals 30% increased damage and reduces enemies' damage against you by 5% for 9 seconds. So do more Shield Slam damage, take a little bit less damage. It looks a bit underwhelming. I mean, sure, depends on how we scale with everything and how much Shield Slam scales, but compared to Into the Fray, it just won't do that much, and it's only on single target. If there's more mobs, it just renders it so much worse. Impending Victory, shouldn't even speak about it, it's just awful. I mean, let's take a quick look on how Victory Rush works. So strikes the target, causing 615 damage, healing you for 30% of your maximum health. Impending Victory, 820 damage is 200 damage more and healing you for 15%. So effectively, you take in Victory Rush and just lowered it. But you can use it whenever you want. Yes, on a 30 second cooldown. So it's nothing to rely on. Healing 15% on a 30 second cooldown. It's just, you're never gonna pick it. Never. Ever. Going to the level 30 row. We have Crackling Thunder. Works the same as on live. Increase your radius on Thunderclap. Bounding Stride. Same as on live. Reduces cooldown on Heroic Leap and gives you speed boost after. Safeguard. Pretty much same as on live. Intercepting a friendly target causes 30% of the damage taken to transfer to you for 6 seconds. So this one is actually a very underrated talent that most warrior tanks don't use, as far as I know at least, or as far as I have seen. Bounding Stride, if you need more mobility, which is just awesome. Crackling Thunder has its uses when mobs are spread or on raid bosses where they're spread, stuff like that. Going to 45, which is our DPS row-ish AoE thingy. Best Served Cold, same as on live. Revenge deals 5% more damage per target, up to 25%. New talent, Unstoppable Force. It's a passive, and Avatar increases the damage of Thunderclap by 100% and reduces its cooldown by 50%. And since we now have Avatar baseline, what this does is it just gives you, so much damage during the Avatar window if you're AoEing. So if you pull a large pack, pop Avatar, you can use Thunderclap every other global. Thunderclap also gives you Rage, which kinda don't need now on the Warrior, but sure, whatever. It's a nice thing anyways. And then my favorite, the Coming Soon. Looks good. It's good. Like it. Liking what they've done with it. Question mark, really. It's mysterious. Really don't know. Moving on. 60. Your survivability rue. Indomitable. Kind of like on live. Maximum health increased by 10%. Not much to say. Don't use it. Ever. Never surrender. Never pick. Your block chance is increased by up to 30% based on your missing health, and this works on the lower percentage. So, sure you get some when you lose health, but you get the good amount when you're really low. So, like post 30% of your health, you start getting a benefit from it. And then we have Bolster. It's awesome. It increases your armor by 40% of your strength. So, 40% of my 1000, so quick math, 400. 400 armor. It's a lot. And you have it up at all time. It's on a 5-second cooldown and it's up for 10 seconds. So, if needed, you can have it up at all time, which is just insane. And it scales with strength. It would have been one thing it was like, which I'm betting they will do eventually. But if it was like increases your armor by 10%, increases your armor by 20% or something, I don't know the math behind it, then it would still be good, but not as good. 75 are C0, Menace, Rumbling Earth, and Stormbolt. Menace is for your intimidating shout. Make sure that they stay in place instead of scatter, so they cower in fear instead of fleeing. And it lasts 4 seconds longer, so 12 seconds instead of 8. Rumbling Earth, when Shockwave strikes at least 3 targets, its cooldown is reduced by 10 seconds. So exactly what Shockwave had baseline on live. And what Shockwave always has had, but it's now a talent. Which is a bit weird. It's just, here you have Shockwave, and also a talent for that you used to have always. But sure, it's very good. It's very good. Effectively in dungeons reduces it to a 20-second CD on a massive stun. Stormbolt, same as live, do some damage, stun a target for 4 seconds, so a single target stun. So it's a good range stun if there's a niche scenario where you need to stun one mob and he's ranged. And a 90 row where I am clueless. They're all very good talents. Booming Voice works exactly like it does on live, but it gives you 40 rage down from 60 rage. And increases damage you deal to the affected targets by 15%. And with Demo Shout being on a 45-second cooldown, this is a very good talent. Vengeance, same thing there. Shield Block reduces rage cost of your next revenge, and revenge reduces the rage cost of your next shield block. Effectively, you go back to the vengeance weaving. You do one and then the other, and one and then the other. But I gotta say, after trying this in a couple of dungeons and trying it out, rage is the least of your worry right now. You have too much rage at all time. You're rage capped, so until they tune that, this one is just not that good. And Devastator works as on live, but with a few differences. It does less damage and it doesn't generate rage. Still resets your cooldown on Shield Slam though. And why I'm using this right now is, as previously mentioned, I am rage capped at all time, and I'm spending most of my time just spamming Thunderclap and Revenge to get my rage down. So I don't really need these, and I do not have the global to spam Devastate, and I don't need to. So letting this one do a little bit of work for me. Last row, Anger Management, same as on live, with the addition that it works on Avatar. So every 10 rage you spend reduces the remaining cooldown on avatar, last stand, shield wall, demo shout by 1 second, which is very, very good. It just gives you so much survivability, and in case they tune everything down and you need rage, it will work so well with booming voice. Not sure I need it now though. I'm gonna try a few runs with Ravager and Heavy Repercussions to see how that feels, but yeah. And Heavy Repercussion, same as on live. Shield Slam extends the duration of your shield block by 1 sec and increase the damage of Shield Slam by additional 30%. So more single target damage and more shield block. Which is, I mean, it's alright. It saw its uses in Legion, but most of the time you just went with anger management because cooldowns are far superior to this. And that will probably be the case. Ravager, same thing. Swirly thing of death, deals damage. It's just it's your own pocket blade storm, and it increases your parry by 35%. I can't say much because I haven't tested this on the beta. So yeah, they're in a good spot, but they seem very out of tune, if you will. I mean, I ran a dungeon, barely had to use bolster and shield block, and I didn't die. So yeah, that's everything you need to know about the Protection Warrior as of right now. I will obviously update this video when or if more changes happens or closer to the actual release of Battle for Azeroth. So if you want to see more videos like this where I go through talents and builds for different tank classes or DPS classes for that matter, give me a shout out in the comments below what you would like to see, or if you have any questions, and please like, subscribe, and share this. So that's it for today.